You're entitled to shit.
Remember that. That's Trump talking to Biden yesterday. We'll get to that in a second. How are you, kids? I'm in a good mood because, it's the last day of the week for us, a Thursday. And still celebrating getting back from Ottumwa and Dallas. I've been in what they call emotional eating.
What's her name?
Dallas, give me a good zinger. Debbie, emotionally disturbed. But aren't they all, fellas? No, I know you guys, I told you I try to avoid pasta and whatever, which goes against everything my DNA tells me. But last night, first of all, Rotelli is my favorite. They're like shock absorbers. They're bigger than Fusilli. They're like Fusilli on steroids. You know what? That's a good segue. But I made a bowl of, I go, I'll cook a few, honey, but I'm not having any. And somehow I always make twice as much as I should. I had a bowl of fucking Rotelli, and I literally felt like getting a little hard when I was eating it. Nothing to do with the pasta. The dog was under the table. It was so fucking good. I was fantasizing about it. What else? What did I do last night? What did I watch? I can't remember. Of course, ID Network. Got to stay up till almost 1:45, seeing what happened to Mary Smith in Denver 31 years ago, because it's very important. There's some scary people out there. Anyhow, I mentioned pasta Rotelli. Might as well segue right into it. Rotelli's a lot like Fusilli. Fusilli, Jerry. Do you remember Seinfeld? They had Fusilli, Jerry. Do you remember this one, Dale? Kramer made a little, he glued together Fusilli, and it was like Jerry had a microphone made out of Fusilli. Fusilli, Jerry, I think they call. I don't know. Anyways, I thought that was a good segue because I don't even remember who sent me this or where I got it. Somebody sent it to me or to my wife or something. As you know, Tom Papa, another good friend of mine, he's on the West Coast, and politically we're very different, but he's a sweetheart of a guy, Tom Papa, and funny, and he does well. I mean, he travels. He's got like 3 podcasts, and Jerry took him under his wing as an opener years ago, and they became pretty close. So Jerry's on his show a lot. They're friends. And anyways, they were talking about comedy on, I'm not sure which one. I think this is the show from, I want to say Xfinity Comedy Channel. I think it's on there. Whatever, you can Google it. But Jerry was on there as a guest, and I know Jerry pretty well because of, being in New York so long. And Colin Quinn and him are very tight. And Jerry would be at the Comedy Cellar. And I do remember one time I'm on stage in one of my rum and coke rages. And I go, Hillary's such a C. Good night, everybody. Honest to God, that's how I ended it. I come off, and again, alcohol in me. That's the nights I got in trouble was... I come off, Jerry, he wasn't standing in the doorway, but he was standing a little to the left of the door. So as I'm heading to the door, he comes in. He goes, brilliant. And the most sarcastic, because Jerry's a Democrat, but he's also very sensible about it. He's sort of an old school New York lip. He goes, brilliant. I felt so, just horrible. I mean, it would have been worse if Norm Macdonald said it to me, or Sam Kinison, or my heroes, it would have broke my heart, Robert Klein or whatever. Although Robert Klein is Jerry's favorite comic of all time, and maybe mine. Well, Norm, it's between Norm, Louis, David Tell, but Robert Klein, when he, in his day, I even when I'm on stage, I've said this before, I feel myself slipping into his cadence. Robert Klein, he punches the, Ben Franklin with those shoes. Anyways, I'm babbling because coffee. But anyways, Tom was interviewing Jerry, and Jerry, my name happened to come up, and I usually don't get excited about shit like this, but because I like Jerry so much, and he's an icon, and his comedy, like I like his comedy, but like I said, I like the rougher shit. I like the guys who spill their guts on stage. But I also appreciate what a technician, a joke writer, and a professional, how he handled his career. Anyways, my name came up, and this is what he said.
Nick DiPaolo.
Oh, Christ.
I think Nick DiPaolo gave me the greatest line I ever got from another comedian.
Really?
Which is about the number one fear of most people is speaking in front of a crowd. Number two is death in these massive surveys.
Yeah.
And Nick gave me, which means if you're going to a funeral, to the average person, you'd rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy. He
brilliant.
gave me that. That is,
God.
that's as good as it gets.
He was a quick mind.
Yeah, he's right.
Quick hands, too. Ask the cashier at Hooters. No. I'm showing this because this joke has quite a history, actually. I'll tell you how it originated. Maybe you guys have been listening to my show for a long time. I probably already told it, but for you newcomers. I was at the comedy, this when I was living in L.A., long time ago, 90s. I'm at the Improv on Melrose, the famous Bud Friedman Improv. And Jerry's on stage, and I see him do that joke. And I had just met Jerry for the first time previously a few months before that through Colin Quinn. So I sort of reintroduced myself, and he goes, yeah. And I said, I think I got the punchline for that. Because he did something, I don't remember the punchline was, but it didn't get much. And it's just one of those things that I was listening, and it came to me as he was saying it, like, So I went up and gave him, and he looked at me right there, and he goes, that's it? Because he's a technician. He goes, that's it? That's perfect. Cut to a couple weeks later, maybe not even. Run into him, he goes, that's the best joke in my act right now. I thought he was just kind of shining me on a bit. And then I see him do it on his sitcom, the stand-up part of the show at the beginning. He did it there. I saw him do it on David Letterman, and I got like an applause. And he does it in his live act. I was like over the moon with that. I usually don't get excited about that shit, but like I said, he's an icon, and I always appreciated his act. Again, not just from a technician thing, but sarcastic and New York, Long Island sarcastic, which I fucking love. So anyhow, I thought that was kind of cute. And the other story about that joke, there's a comedian named Pete Dominic. You'll see him on CNN. Matter of fact, he was on this week whining about the election. And he's not a very big comic. Nobody really knows who. This is how I met Pete Dominic. He's hosting a show that I was on in New York City at some club. Before he brings me up, he does one of my jokes verbatim about dirty tits and why girls wash their bras. He brings me up to that. So I shake his hand as he's bringing me up, and he's going off stage. I go, that was fucking mine. And so I catch him there, but I meet him and I like him. I like his wife, Usually, I'm one of those guys, like Jeff Ross did that to me. I'm like, fuck him the rest of his life. So I watch him do one of my bits right in front of me. Then fast forward a few years later, I'm watching the Yankees game when I'm living in Westchester County, New York, and somebody in the booth said, yeah, I have to give a speech tomorrow night, and I'm very nervous about it. And Michael Kay goes, I read a survey where they say people are more scared of speaking in public than actual dying. Right? And that's where he leaves it, and then they go back to play-by-play. And then like 5 minutes later, he goes, my comedian friend Pete Dominic just called in and says, that means the average person would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. I sit up on my couch, no shirt on, fucking hair all sticking up. I go, that fucking Weasley motherfucker ripping it off in a Yankees game, trying to take credit. I left a 10-minute scathing message on his voice. And for some reason, maybe because he's Italian, I still didn't kick him out of my life. But now that I see you on CNN, Pete, making an asshole of yourself, because at least most of those CNN people said, yeah, we fucked up, we're wrong in this one. You're poisoned. They got to you. Doesn't mean I hate you. Oh, the other reason I like Pete Dominic, apparently on a flight from Italy, some guy got nuts. I think him and his wife are going to Italy. Somebody got obnoxious, and Pete tackled him. He was like the hero in the story. Maybe that's why. That and he's a greaseball. Anyways, steal any more of my shit, I'll fucking kill you. That's how I'm going to leave that. All right, folks. I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. Let's go to the stories, I guess. White House welcome wagon pulls up in front of Trump's house. On Wednesday, Trump met with former jerk-off President Joe Biden, who stole the last election. We all know that by now. I love that they have a roaring fire and it's 81 degrees in D.C. yesterday. Joe's like, my balls. I can't. I'm sweating. Is it hot in here? Former President Biden in the Oval Office, where they appeared more like friends than enemies while discussing plans for a peaceful transition of power. I played this not so much for what was said, because it was boring, but for the reaction of the press, which seems to be 99% women, trying to get a question in afterwards. And they sounded like a high school. It sounded like a recess at elementary school. Here we go.
In many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get. And
that's up to Joe.
Appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Keep your eye on Trump's face. Do you believe that? Honest to God, that shows the emotional level is about 8th grade. Can you imagine none of them having enough fucking maturity to go, I'll shut up and let somebody get one in. Maybe I can piggyback. Honest to God, good riddance and take the old man with you. Fucking asshole. I hope he gets hit by a trolley. Why a trolley? I don't know. Trolleys are in San Francisco. Yeah, well, this one went off the tracks, went all the way to D.C. I don't know. White House press secretary and phony and lying lying puppeteer, Raggedy Ann doll. White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, sounds like a good goalie out of Vancouver, said President Biden did not showcase classified information to President-elect Donald Trump during their Oval Office meeting on Wednesday. Peter Ducey asked him, I think, or somebody asked him, it might not. And she said, why would he?
It's a sick question. You're a sick fuck, and I'm not that sick that I'm going to answer it.
We would respect her more if she said that. This was an opportunity, she said, for them. She gets all defensive, by the way. Who said what? She gets all defensive. Worst in the history. Kamala Harris and her set black women back 1,000 years. This was an opportunity for them to speak candidly, openly, she said during a White House press briefing. Yeah? You can't speak candidly about the documents? When asked by, it was Peter Ducey about whether the two, about having a golf matchup. Ducey asked about a golf matchup, something that came up during their June debate. Jean-Pierre dodged the question because it was so controversial. Yeah. She is so ignorant, and this is symbolic of her going, DEI going, Kamala going. It is symbolic. It is a watershed moment. Whatever that is. Google it. It's a shed with a lot of water in it. Yes. Bye-bye, sweetie. Unbelievable. This country is like the least racist place on earth. It proves it with her appointment with that job. Moving on to filling the cabinet with goodies. Ooh. Meanwhile, I hope I can remember all these. We've been he's nominating people so quick that we can't keep up. I finish a fucking article, I go back to watching a ball game and come back and there's two more. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans elected John Thune of South Dakota. Love it. He looks like a senator questioning Michael Corleone. Doesn't he? Yeah. From that era? Mr. Corleone, is it true that you're the leader of a crime family syndicate, the Corleone family? No, Senator, I have my own family. And nice tie, jerk-off. John Thune of Dakota as a majority leader. He's replacing the old stroked-out Mitch McConnell. That's another huge thing. That piece of shit, when you guys say the Republicans and the Democrats aren't much different, you can blame it on McConnell for about 50 years, a lot of it. Succeeding a retiring Mitch McConnell, Thune, the Republican whip since 2019, edged out John Cornyn. I don't even believe he was in the running. This guy was not a Trump fan. Every time I saw him, he was saying bad shit. John Cornyn of Texas, after Florida's Rick Scott, another one who I didn't trust. He was always too on the fence for me. A late favorite of hard right members, I disagree, was eliminated on the first ballot. So I guess Trump felt the same way. President-elect Donald Trump continued to fill out his national security team Wednesday, announcing that former Rep. Tulsi Gabbard, I love this pick, will be his nominee for Director of National Intelligence. DNI, not DEI, DNI. There she is, showing how she backhanded Kamala during the debates. Love her. Military woman, smart enough to realize the left had lost their fucking minds. She looks good in Lululemons. Gabbard, a former vice chair of the Democrats' National Committee who endorsed Trump and joined the Republican Party late in the 2024 campaign, will oversee America's 17 intelligence agencies in the power. That's a huge thing, because they're going to clean house. I don't know how you replace these people so fast. That's what scares me. What do you bring in Eagle Scouts and shit? President-elect Donald Trump selected Rep. Matt Gaetz. This is the one yesterday that people were freaking out over, okay? To serve as his attorney general. Now, you know this guy's a real firebrand. Shit, I didn't give you that famous clip of him about a year ago, right? When he was saying, why do all these women, it's a cliche, but why do all these women at these pro-abortion rallies, why are they worried about it? Nobody wants to, he goes, impregnate you if you look like a thumb. And then they show him after some woman comes up from the news, Are you saying largely that most of the women that were at this march are ugly and overweight? He goes, yes. And she goes, what? Now, what do you say to the people that are offended to that? He goes, be offended. I bet you Trump saw that one. I'm putting him somewhere. But the problem is there's a lot of GOP people who don't like him, which still tells me they're fucking, maybe they should go. You should love him. Not to mention he looks like a young Kennedy. Doesn't he? I posted a thing on my ex. Check it out. It's a picture. I said, I'm glad he doesn't think like Ted Kennedy, but every time I look at him, and I put up a picture of a young Ted Kennedy. Right here. Here's a video of something. Attorney General.
Now nominated Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz as Attorney General of the United States. He just wrote this on Truth Social. Quote, Matt is a
man goes to a party.
Attorney, trained at William and Mary College of Law, distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving desperately needed reform at the Department of Justice. Few issues in America are more important than ending the partisan weaponization of our justice system.
Matt will end weaponized government, protect our borders, dismantle our criminal organizations, restore Americans' badly shattered faith and confidence in the Justice Department. He looks the part, man. Right away he jumped out of his seat. Excuse me. It will be an honor to serve as President Trump's Attorney General. Gaetz responded on an exit. Again, a lot of people don't think he's going to get through the nomination process, and it sort of bugs me. Gaetz, 42, had not been reported as in contention. That's how the theory makes sense. As in contention for the powerful administrations, but has been a loyal supporter of the 45th president and has been trying to influence the administration's choices being made at Mar-a-Lago. Florida congressman had earned a reputation for being a thorn in the collective side of his House colleagues, which I love.
I don't want to talk to you. Get away from me.
Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. For his hard right stances in opposition to former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, leading to the Californians' removal from power in October of 2023. So Dallas said that he had read the move here is they know he's not going to get through the nomination process, so he's going to take the Senate seat, right? In Florida. What was it, Dallas? Open seat?
Yeah, it would open up a seat.
Open up a seat in the house.
They could fill.
And he's gonna.
And he would probably occupy something else.
They said it. Yeah, they mentioned the Senate. Yeah. So that. But don't we? I thought they already won the House.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get extra bodies in there.
All right, I'm sitting right here. We got to show that clip. Did we already show it? Did we? My brain is gone. Did we show Don Jr. talking as? Oh no, that's not what I want. I want to show the clip of the last one I did. Oh, we showed that too. Did we show that on the show? What's it like to work with a retard? The press secretary one. The one.
Yeah. We opened with that Monday.
Am I in the right building? Jesus. All right. Anyway, hey folks, listen up now. This is important because we're in flux here as far as moving to Rumble Premium. This is all very exciting, but for you subscribers out there, keep watching the show today. For those of you not subscribed, you can watch the full show by clicking the link in the description below. To get access to the full show and all Mug Club content, sign up to Rumble Premium and use the code Mug Club. That's one word, Mug Club, one word. To get access to full shows, my full shows, Crowder's, and everything that's Mug Club, and everything on Rumble Premium. This is what we're doing for now. It'll be made a lot easier eventually. We are still making the transition over, so expect some bumps here and there, but worry not. They will be worked out real soon. So bear with us. It'll be worth it. La 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 la. Oh goodness gracious! What the? And I'll tell you why, Dale. And I'm not fucking kidding you. Once again, I go to bed at 1:05, and I'm like, no, that's good for me. I go, yes. Cut to me, 2:35. Ooh, a fight in Brazil, dude. And I know you. I just fucking know. And I'm like, fucking. Then I'm watching just funny shit. And I'm becoming one of those fucking idiots. So I 2:35, I put the phone down. I wake up at like 4:40, 2 hours later. And I'm like, oh, don't even tell me. I lay there for like 40 minutes, back to sleep, woke up at 8:20. And I'm like, God fucking damn. And I know I'm going to end up like my old man. I'm telling you, Alzheimer's, sleep is what prevents Alzheimer's. There's proteins that build up plaque, and at night you have a chemical that washes over it. I snorted those chemicals. They're gone. February 20th. Go to nickdip.com. Don't go there on the 20th. Go there today. Click on the button, and you'll see my tour date right now, February 20th. Bricktown Comedy Club, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've played many times, not at this club, but in Tulsa in the past. Had a great time. Looking forward to it.
Hi. Good night, everybody.